Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Today, got an awesome video planned out for you guys. I think it's a great video. I really want to talk today about what's going on with gold, what's going on with silver, what's going on with the economy. We have seen some amazing price drops over the last couple days. Will it continue? We're going to talk a little bit about that. Where do I see it going? We're going to talk a little bit about that. What are people saying about it? Because there's a lot of people talking about gold and silver. Some people are not in the least bit worried about it because they're picking up some amazing opportunities. It's great right now because we're not seeing premiums really jump, and a lot of that could be because there's a lot of people that believe that the price is going to continue to fall. I've talked to a couple of friends today, and I'm hearing 25, 26 and 27, and though that may be possible that we could see this, I'm going to kind of compare what's going on right now to what happened in 2020 during cough and see if we're seeing a lot of essentially resembles to this, maybe even a lot of similarities compared to what happened in 2011, 2008, 2009, 10 and 11, where just before big major moves up, we see big drops down. And so I think it's important that we talk about that. We're going to be talking about a few other things with the economy. I know right now a lot of people are starting to realize the economy is not doing that well. And it's not just Wall Street. A lot of stuff right now has been kind of slowing. I was kind of shocked today. I ended up taking my son out, spent the whole day looking for a vehicle for him. And I got on one where we were looking at a newer Kia, ironically, and we were only like $400 off. I could not believe it. And I said, look, let me put it this way. Drop the price to $450 and we'll take the car. And that's it. Deal's been done. All you got to do is drop the price. $450. It was actually $449, and they refused to, and I could not believe it. And then it became a pride thing, and I said nope. I talked to my son and I said, are you prepared to walk away? He said, whatever you want to do, I'm prepared to walk away. There's no car that's like, oh, I got to have that specific car. I get such a kick out of wheeling and dealing when it comes to this, but a lot of times they don't want to negotiate anymore. They just want to get what they're asking, and that's it. And I'm big on negotiating. So I'm a little tired today, but I found it kind of funny because it kind of shows, what is going on in the market. That they people have this belief that prices can't come down, that things cannot get bad, and it's amazing to see that when you look at the Dow Jones, when you look at the Nasdaq, when you look at the S&P, or even, unfortunately, when you look at gold and silver. So if you enjoyed today's video, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps me out. Hit that subscribe button. Be sure and check out all of our great videos. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member. A special thank you to all of our members of the channel. I can't thank you enough. It is only $1.99. Every month we do a fun event where somebody ends up winning a really, really cool prize. As you can see, we had an awesome a lucky winner the other day. We do these live when we do the members event, special silver giveaways, and we're actually building up for another one that's going to be a lot of fun. Probably, maybe even within the next week, which is really cool. I'm not sure exactly which weekend it's going to come, but I think we could see it possibly next weekend. But we'll see how this all plays out. With that being said, moving in, though, taking a quick look at what happened in silver today. We're seeing silver literally down another $2.27 today. Our main topic, we're going to be talking about the gold and silver here in a minute, right after we give a quick rundown. Down another $2.26, or another 7% drop. Gold, looking right now down 2.5%, not as bad, down $77. I mean, yeah, it's a big number, but is it the end of the world? We're going to talk about that in a minute. Jumping over, we're just going to do a quick glaze over the markets. Taking a look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones trading at 25,314, down another 2,231 points. When you look at it for the month, down 4,691 points, or down 10%. Jumping over real quick, looking at the NASDAQ trading down 962 points, or 5.8%. But when you look at it for the month, down 15.9%, so 16% pretty much down, 2,965 points. A lot of stuff is getting destroyed right now. A lot of money's being just vaporized, essentially. And maybe some people will say that's good. Some people will say that's bad. I personally think that's great for silver and gold opportunities. I hear a lot of people say in the comments, I just want one more good opportunity to back up the truck. And I'm wondering if we're not going to see that. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about that in a minute too. But S&P, a lot of y'all's 401ks and stuff tied up in that. Literally down 6% today, down another 322 points. Looking at it for the month, down 13.15%, or 716 points. The big one that a lot of people are wondering, Bitcoin. I had someone to laugh at me today, and they teased me, and they're like, look at that, Bitcoin. 83,700 points, down only $125 or 0.15%. It sounded good to them, and I said, is it really though? Take a look at this. I mean, because there's going to be someone in the comments, I'm sure, that wrote already, and now they're going to delete it if they're watching this. But when you look at Bitcoin, for one, we'll look at it year to date. Let's look at it year to date. Year to date, so far this year, Bitcoin down 10.5%, down 97.39, quite a bit really. Everybody knows silver is getting destroyed right now. I'm curious exactly what's up with silver year to date. Oh, silver year to date, we're almost perfectly even. We're right where we were. So look at that. Silver washing away 3 months essentially worth of gains. So if you bought silver at the beginning of the year, you are totally even right now. It kind of bums because we were up there. We were a good ways up when we were at 34.50 only a week ago. And for those people that don't really understand what's going on with silver, we're going to get there in just a minute. Take a look at, and it's hard to see the drop until you zoom out a little bit. Look at the drop over 1 month. So we can see the climb at the beginning of the month, and then look what happened. Only a couple days ago, I guess, what are they calling it? I should have remembered. There was a special name they were calling the day. Was it? I don't even remember the name that they called it. I'm tired. Some kind of special day. Liberation Day, maybe it was. I don't remember. Needless to say, Liberation Day came, and it all tanked. Unless they're liberating people by, I don't want to say you'll have nothing, and hey, you're going to be happy. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about when I say that. Yeah, they liberated you, all right. Liberated you of your cash. Because we did see a huge downturn, and you can see it clear here. If you go out 3 months, you can really see it right here, how it just literally unbelievable. And I actually had people call me up today. Hey, bro, do you know anybody selling any silver? Not at $29. I mean, look around online. You can probably still find some people. Some people have this belief it's going to go down to 25. It could happen. Personally, this is just buying opportunity times. I wouldn't be surprised to see premiums have a big jump pretty soon. I kind of felt bad telling him, it's bad when people don't want to sell when the price comes down. They only want to sell you when the price is up. And that's understandable, because if someone paid a lot for their silver, they're certainly not going to want to give it away. And like I say, it's understandable. None of us would. But right now, it is an opportunity to pick stuff up, in my opinion. Even though we're seeing a drop right now, how long can this drop last? And to answer that for you guys, I kind of want to jump over to the all category, maybe even a 5. I have to jump to the all category. I want to talk a little bit about what we saw in March of '08. How many people remember March of '08? This was during the financial crisis. Literally, it was a meltdown on Wall Street. It was a meltdown in everything. And we seen it all come crashing down for a while, really. We ended up seeing it go all the way down till November of '08. And I remember this because I was actually stock market trading. I was trading, day trading, buying stocks, selling stocks on a regular basis back then for myself, not for like anything special like Wall Street. But I remember the volatility that was happening. And when you really look at it, I wasn't following gold though at all, or silver. But when you look at what happened, literally, once things just started getting better, this huge drop, all of a sudden skyrocketed to really a new all-time high in March of 2011. So it was a little bit of a wait. It was a 3-year wait between the high, the low point, and then the new all-time high of essentially $50. And here's the thing. Some people think that, oh, well, does that mean we're going to have to wait 3 years from here? I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think right now what we're seeing is almost like a copycat of what happened during cough cough. During cough cough, some of y'all remember when the silver price was actually at essentially 1930. It was $20 almost. And then all of a sudden, we just tanked to $11.50. Nobody was selling it. A lot of companies were actually closing down. And this happened really rapidly, this crash. A lot of people said it's because industrial demand's not there. People ain't spending money. The economy shut down. Stuff's tanking. And people forget what really can happen when you see a plunge like that. Literally, the price was down to pretty much $11.50, and then all at once, it just skyrocketed, and we seen it go all the way up to $29, and it stayed at $29 for a little bit, and then it did eventually work its way back down to, it dipped down to 18, and then instantly spiked even higher as we see new $35. Now, I think what we're seeing here, as you look at it, we're seeing the buildup. We're starting to see it climb again, and I think $50 silver is not super far around the corner. I still have a belief that we're going to see big returns in silver. I know there's a lot of naysayers out there. I wanted to do this video and talk about this yesterday, but because I had that one comment naysayer that said, hey, because I bought on credit, I lost $2 an ounce, and I had to hunt down all of his comments because this was a person that came out of the woodwork posing as, oh, I listen to your channel on a regular basis. I do what you suggested. And first of all, I don't suggest buying on credit. I do it, and you guys can if you want to, but I'm confident. I know how to use it. It's a double-edged sword. If used improperly, it will cut you up quick. But I'm happy with it. I'm happy that I can buy on credit. And right now, I'll be honest, I plan on buying on credit as soon as I free up a little bit of credit because I ended up hitting my credit card hard recently. I'm looking at a package sitting here right now that I just got in for 100 ounces. While I was at the dealership today, waiting for them to come back just to tell me, no, we're not willing to go $450 down on your vehicle for $20,000. I said, okay. I was sitting there, I was looking, and I was like, man, hey, that package that I just got in, what did I buy that for? And I was like, oh my word, it's down $400. I could have literally waited until today and bought it for $400 cheaper. And like I said, some people believe that it's going to go even cheaper and that this is just the beginning of really a huge sale that's coming. Now, me personally, I plan on trying to, I guess you can say, dollar cost average. I plan on buying throughout this dip that we're seeing. I picked up a bunch, and now I'm going to probably try to pick up another bunch. However, I am looking more for bullion right now. I'm looking for the cheapest ounces I can get. The problem's going to be that a lot of bullion companies are going to start putting bigger and bigger, my word. How am I forgetting some of these words today? Premiums on your silver. And if they start putting bigger and bigger premiums ultimately, I don't like big premiums. Not because I mind paying, but because a premium is an instant loss, essentially. Yes, I'll make it back. I mean, right now, we'll use $30 silver, for instance, right now. If silver's sitting at $30 right now and they're doing a $3 premium, well, that means I only need to see it go back up $3 before I make my money back, hypothetically. However, if all of a sudden silver drops another $2 and then all of a sudden they put a $5 premium on that same silver, well, now I'm $5 in the hole at the start. I need it to go back up $5. Now, will it go there? Absolutely. I personally want my stuff as close to spot. I would rather pay $33 and see silver at $33 spot. Why? Because when people see the spot price, you know there's upside potential. And right now, I mean, I see this as a huge opportunity. So when I see these similarities of what happened before, I'm not really looking at the negative aspect of it of, oh my word, I lost over $4 an ounce. And does it sting? It stings me like I'm sure it stings you, knowing that you could have bought a couple days later and maybe got a better deal, or you could have bought today over yesterday and got a better deal. But I'm convinced that a lot of people are going to be going and hitting up their coin stores this weekend and looking for opportunity. Why do I believe that? Because I've had people call me today saying, hey, do you have anything you'd be willing to let go? Or does anybody in your group have anything you're willing to let go? And, some people I might really bend over backwards for and try to get them some ounces. But it's tough. It's tough because only recently I was paying, $5-6 over this price, over spot, essentially, when you look at today's spot. It might have only been a couple of bucks over spot then, but it sure does add up now. Now, here is one good thing that comes from this, though. There is some good deals out there right now. There's some good collectible coins. Some people have already put I don't want to say collectible, but semi-slabbed coins. I've got a deal worked out where I'm going to be getting roughly 100 slabbed coins. For even now, it's still, in my opinion, a fairly low price when I look at the silver price. Because it costs money to get coins slabbed. Now, I looked earlier at a couple bullion sites and I said, what are American Silver Eagles going for? And, American Silver Eagle's still holding a $4 premium right now. And so if I pick them up at a good enough price, then there's room, there's potential, to really do well still with it. I know some people are not big fans of slabbed coins, and I prefer bullion. I'm not going to lie to you. But when the prices of silver is as high as it was, some people are just letting go of nice silver for not really crazy premiums. Why? Because people have the opportunity to get rid of their collectibles now and essentially get their money back. Unfortunately, those are weak hands, I think. Those are people that, they bought it, maybe a spontaneous buy, and now they're like, I just want to make my money back, so we'll see what happens and how this plays out. Jumping in, I want to show you guys one more thing that I think is important that people understand. And in order to show you this, I'm going to start off in gold at 1 day. So this is the 1 day decline, essentially, on gold. This right here is a 5-day chart on gold. We've seen it go down and pop back up, and then it started making a climb, but then it really came down. Now, how bad did it really come down? In order to see that, you got to look out about a month. Now, here's what I found most interesting. When I look at silver, we'll say 6 months, and I look at this drop, I've got to go all the way back to pretty much here. So basically, this entire year was washed away. I can see it really good here even, but I don't really like the bar charts quite as much as the line charts. But I can see it here. The whole year is washed away on silver. Silver has fallen hard, and that's why we've got a ratio pretty much almost at 100 to 1 now. We've only seen, and it might even be 102 to 1. Actually, I think it is 102 now to 1. We've seen the over 100 gold silver ratio pretty much only like one other time in history. And usually what that sparks is a good run up in the price of precious metals, specifically silver. Gold will go up too. That's what's happened in the past. When we've seen that get up, it got up to like 124, 125, and then all of a sudden it came crashing down fast as silver went from $11 all the way up to $29 in a huge mega reversal. And I really think that's what's going to happen here. The question is, are you buying and are you sustained to wait out the storm? Now, this is where some people will say why you should not buy on credit. I don't really think about that the same way, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But if you buy on credit, you're basically burning everything you have, maybe at these high prices, hypothetically. I put in a lot of orders when silver was around $33. So when you look at it, I won't say it was the all-time high. I won't even say that it was, the 11-year high, but we were up there for sure. And when you see this drop and you're like, oh my word, what did I just do? I just bought all that silver and it dropped. That's okay in my mind when I realize, yes, it dropped, but at what sacrifice? They are sacrificing so much silver right now that people are buying. People are backing up the truck, and the lower it goes, and here's the thing, if it goes to 25, I'm going to be scrambling. I mean, I might even cash in my nickel collection, my penny collection. I got some scrap copper that I've been saving. I usually save it till later in the year, and then, I'll cash it in, old wires or whatever. I may cash all that in and just try to get every ounce will matter, especially at these prices, if it dips down much more. But what you look at when you look at the same chart a year to date, look at gold. Year to date, gold would have to go all the way down to 2,600 just before we get there. Now, here's the thing. What a lot of us have already known is, gold's a great investment. In my opinion, silver is a good investment too. The problem that comes up is the volatility with silver. When the gold price falls, the silver price falls hard. But when the gold price goes up, the silver price really goes up. And I'm convinced that the lower they push gold, but here's the thing, we're not seeing any drastic drop in gold, really. I mean, we're pretty much where we were not even a week and a half ago. When you look at it, I mean, it's showing the 27th of March. That's what we washed away. The 27th of March, the 28th, the 29th, the 30th, the 1st, and the 2nd. And that's what we've lost. But when you look at silver, we have lost a lot. And I believe this is going to pop back up. Not tomorrow. Definitely not tomorrow because the markets ain't open, but not Monday. The charts are showing that we could see it go down lower. Some people are saying we're going to retest the lows. The low moving average? It was like $26. I don't know really personally if it will go down to $26. I would like to see another $2 drop. And I know there's a lot of people out there. I had someone leave me a comment, silver is like the only investment you fools root for it. You buy it and you root for it to go down. That's because we're trying to buy more. We understand what's really going on. And some people are not strong into it. And if your faith, I don't like to use the word faith, but if your understanding in silver is not really that strong, then it's scary. I've been there. I mean, I hadn't always looked at silver the way I look at it now. But this is just opportunity for me. And the lower it goes, the more I can get for my money. And I am getting to the point where I'm looking to back up the truck. I may even, and this can get extremely risky, if we see $25 silver or lower, there's a possibility I am going to do everything in my power to recoup, possibly even I don't want to go the extent of taking out a home equity loan. One, I don't even know if I would be able to, because if the price falls, how long is it actually going to stay down? One of the good things, though, some people will say about a home equity loan is you can write off the interest. Now, I'm not an accountant. I would have to refer to my accountant before I made that statement as an official statement. But I have heard people say that. And if that's true, because I've known people that have written off, they've bought a vehicle on a home equity or they've repaired on a home equity, and then they end up writing off that interest. And so essentially the debt for the car that's being borrowed against the home, it's not a big deal, the interest rate, because they're just writing it off. Yes, they got to pay it, but then they get that write-off back at the end of the year. So some people say, it's not a big deal. I still want the lowest interest rate I can get on stuff. But here's the thing, with gold and silver, if I put money into it, yeah, I might have to pay a little bit of interest, but if all of a sudden it just pops right up, I still get to write off my interest on the home equity loan. Now, it takes time to apply for that, to process that. I may actually talk to someone next week. Probably should have talked about it while I was at the bank today, but I wanted people really to get a good understanding of what's going on so they're not fearful of this, because people are scared of what's going on, essentially. And, once you understand that, you kind of just embrace it and try to stack more. The deals, you can still find them. I looked around on different websites. Not every site has jumped their premiums. I'm sure if you go into a coin store and they're open, if they didn't have a family emergency this weekend, you can probably pick up some deals. So if I had a coin shop, I'd probably, hey, I had an emergency, I'm not open, and that's it. And some people won't like that, but it's a whole lot better than saying I'm not selling. So we'll see what happens. I wouldn't want to upset someone if I had a coin shop and tell them, hey, I'm not selling anything right now. We're just closed. I wouldn't even be there. And I might even put a sign on the door, just point blank, that said, due to recent volatilities in the market, the recent I'll just say volatilities and manipulation, we're not selling. I don't know how many people seen The Big Short, where Christian Bale came out and he wrote a letter to everybody and said, in the movie, he wrote a letter to everybody and said, due to the recent market volatility and manipulation in the housing markets, we are refusing people to cash out from their accounts right now. And people were PO'd. They were all calling him in. Anybody that hasn't seen The Big Short, it's an awesome movie in my opinion. It's one of the few movies that I've watched a good dozen times because of the solid understanding of it that really teaches you. So with that being said, I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you hit the thumbs up button. Consider becoming a member if you are not. Like I said, it's a lot of perks to becoming a member. It's only $1.99 a month. One of the big perks, your comments go right to my phone, so I always get to see your comments. If you have a question or personal information that you want to ask me, I won't say personal, but you got a question you just want to get out there, you can put it in the comments and I can answer it. I can't see replies, unfortunately. I can only get your original comments. So some people will actually write 2 questions on 2 different comments, and that way I'm guaranteed to get them sent to my phone, and then I can answer them up. Usually they're like, hey, I'm thinking about buying this, it's a good deal, whatever. But on top of the comments going right to my phone as a member, you also get entered into every month's special silver event, and every month we give away some cool prizes. In fact, we're about ready to give away some really cool prizes. If I shift over here, hopefully I can still see it. I gotta see if I still have my camera set up. I don't even know. Boom. Yeah, we're about ready to do some kind of giveaway for this right here pretty soon, plus an ounce of silver, probably an American Silver Eagle on top of these. So it's never been a better time to become a member. Plus, I ended up getting lucky, got some $50. I think we're going to let members open up these rolls, and if you find silver, you get the silver. And these are all bank rolls. So some people, they're into hunting $50. I'm just going to be looking for silver. I had someone ask me if I was going to look for NFCs, if I was going to look for eras, different stuff. I'm only really looking for silver on them just because it's easy to spot. It's quick. I do want to open these up because I'd rather take this money and turn it into this money. the silver. So we'll see what happens. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. I hope everybody has a great day, a great weekend, and I will see you then. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great one. Bye-bye.